Hey, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Glad you're back. Hope you had a restful, long weekend and maybe got some stuff done, some projects, whatever, and got outside. And I mean, the weather was amazing. So anyway, I hope you had a great weekend and look forward to seeing you. Many of us are excited about a trip. Many of us are nervous about a trip. So obviously today our 7th graders head up to Camp Idrahaji. Amazing. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the challenge that it's going to put forth in your life, the different challenges. And then overcoming those challenges as best you can and really pushing yourself to overcome those challenges. And then 6th graders head out tomorrow again. Maybe this is something new and different and challenging going away. And maybe there's a little bit of nerves in there, maybe for the 7th graders as well. But hopefully at the end of the trip for both of you on Friday, you can reflect back and say, you know, I did it. It was scary. I didn't know what was going on. Hardly know some of my new classmates. But I persevered and I pushed, and as scary as it was, I did it. You know, hopefully, I pray, that's our prayer, your teacher's prayer, for you on these trips. So really looking forward to the growth that you're going to experience. And for the 6th graders, if you remember on the new student orientation, I talked about risk-taking and the value of risk-taking and the opportunity for growth in risk-taking. And so hopefully that's something that resonates a little bit with you as you kind of are a little bit anxious about this trip. I don't know. And some of you aren't anxious, and so I'm not trying to say that, but some of you aren't at all and are excited, and some of you are super anxious, and then maybe a bunch of us are somewhere in the middle. So anyway, looking forward to these trips. They're amazing. Okay, let's go through kind of our week. That's a little bit of our week, of course. I redid the calendar a little bit, and so I put the calendar in this form. It seems more laid out, a little simpler, and I don't have to worry about typos and different things like that. So I'm going to be in the habit of copying some stuff from the master calendar, but also adding my own stuff into basically a middle school calendar. And so like yesterday was Labor Day, the 5th, here you can see Camp Idrahaji, the 6th grade trip. Here's the different map testing pieces, middle school chapel, Monday morning message. There's this first performing arts patrons meeting. It's a group of volunteers who want to support the performing arts. They meet the second Friday. Fill out this form if you're interested. So if you go in here and you click on this link, it'll fill out a form. Or if you have a question, you can connect with Mrs. Roberg, who has 3 students here. And so, and then Grow Groups is on there, the early release is on there, and then you can kind of move forward so you can kind of see a little bit ahead of time specifically related to the calendar. So I think that's going to make more sense. And for example, families, let's pause on this one. This is on one of my lists. Families, you are more than welcome to join us in chapel. In fact, more and more of you are starting to join us in chapel this last week or two. And so please do. It's a wonderful thing to be able to worship in the same room as your students during a school day. Obviously, you do it at church as well, but to be able to do it here at DC is just that much more special as well. So you are more than welcome. You come through the main lobby, you're greeted by some DC staff, and you'll sit in the back. Your students are down in the front area. But you are more than welcome to join us. So, for example, if you wanted to click here and you use Google Calendar, you can copy this event to your Google Calendar. So now it'll be on your calendar, and you'll know that it's coming at 9:10 every Thursday. And if we don't have it, so like coming up, we have Dance Your Shoes Off. It's a little bit different. We don't, for faith families, we don't have families join us for that. That'll be reflected on this calendar. So anyway, that's that. Okay. So yes, there's one of them on my list. Next thing is obviously map testing starts today for 8th graders. You'll see that sitting right here, right? I sent the remind out last night to charge your computers and bring them ready to go with you. And then next week is 6th, 7th, and 8th, or 6th and 7th, excuse me, their map testing. All right. Here's something that's really cool for 8th grade. This Encounter DC, you'll see this document here. And you'll see a form here. There's a QR code that you can use to register. You can email Mrs. Johnson. But it's basically an opportunity to figure out, is Denver Christian a right fit for you? And I highly recommend you check this out. You're going to get a whole sense of the athletics and clubs and activities and the fine arts and tech and all the dual credit and AP courses and all that good stuff. Discovery Week, different leadership opportunities and all that good stuff. So highly recommend. So you'll see those details here on Encounter DCS. All right. So that's going to be amazing. Okay. And then Checkpoint is back. It is considered a club. So if you click here, it is an executive function. Here's the sessions. There's an AM session on Wednesday, and then there's a Tuesday session as well. There's morning and afternoon, so you can kind of see these. So there's the morning session here, 7:30 in the morning till 8, and then the PM, the Wednesday afternoon session here, and then there's the Tuesday morning session. That's for high school only. So you just click here to register. But we did it last year. It made an unbelievable difference in a lot of our kids' lives. I mean, I just cannot stress enough. It made a huge difference in our kids' lives. All right. And then finally, before I share what Pastor Brett shared at church, the leaf raking, it's not too early to start talking about leaf raking. It is Friday, November 3. The reason it's not too early to start talking about it is because we need drivers, and I mean lots of drivers, probably 50 drivers. Our students go out in groups of 4-ish, and it requires one driver per 4 students, okay, at 200 plus. The goal is, well, the goal is to have great weather, first of all. The goal is to rake about 115 lawns as a group, collectively. We think of it as a team. Each group's initially assigned 2 lawns, but ultimately some do way more than that, and some barely get through the first one because it's just so overwhelming. But nonetheless, here's how it works. You'll see it in here. Families, parents, if you are interested, please go down here to the bottom and fill out this form. And you will be asked to just fill out some information, background check, different things like that. But more details are going to be coming on that soon. But yes, it's an amazing event, but it requires a whole bunch of you. Some of you have done it before. Please sign up again. That'd be great. So anyway, I'll keep talking about that as we go. All right, church. So Pastor Brett focused on John 21, 1 through 19. I'm not going to read that whole thing to you, but it basically is talking about the disciples and their passion and love for fishing. So they just love fishing. That was like what they did. And so what Jesus said is, I get it that you love fishing. You have that habit of fishing, these patterns of fishing. You get up at the same time, you go fishing. Totally get it. I need you to break that and come follow me. I need you to break the habit of fishing every day, put the stuff down, and follow me. And now, remember, these are just late teens. These are not older students. These are kids. And so he's asking them to break old habits. just like he's asking you and me to break old habits and follow him. So think about the old habits that you're in the pattern of doing. Maybe they're not great. Maybe they're really, really unhealthy. And maybe they're just sort of not really unhealthy, but they're just kind of in the way of our walk with Jesus. Like maybe it's the habit of not going to church every Sunday. So it's the habit of not attending. I'd just rather sleep in. I'd rather game. I'd rather whatever it is and not go to church. So maybe that's a habit. Maybe it's a habit of what we do with our phone. Maybe it's a habit of how we talk with our friends and the words that we use and the content we talk about. Maybe it's the habit of gossiping. Maybe it's the habit of talking behind someone else's back, right? There's all these habits, right? And so Jesus is saying, let's break the old habits. The new habit is follow me. The new habit is follow me. Now, it's not going to be perfect, right? He calls on us to be obedient, focus on service, forgiveness, mission, grace, love, and more. And we're not going to be perfect at it. But he wants the effort to break the old habit and follow Jesus. Put down the old habits and follow me. And ultimately, by breaking the old habits, following Jesus in grace and passion and obedience and service is then a reflection of him. So then ultimately we are then in our friend group, on our teams, wherever, out in our neighborhood, we are a reflection of Jesus. All right, so those are my thoughts from church. And again, looking forward to Camp Ajahaji and then Estes Park, Rocky Mountain tomorrow. So anyway, all right, we'll see you, gang. Bye.